Ebusia me dam asena mama kwa abade maba ye ka TV so. KBS nie matena se enen so Ghana man mu nsem de trendy e na me de eho asem nyina e ba be so mo. Na ebusia US officials a petition IMF about Ghana me de eho asem ebe bremu nemom ansa na ebe bo awura no mu no ye hwe ensem ahodo a eka eye US officials no mu petition na omode ama IMF no omo say ohwe eye 2024 elections campaign na NDC amanyukuo ni ye about the economy no mu chem say economy no atete apansam economy no apro Ghana kan ye de yentimi ntua dollar to cedi ajiagu chese ensema NDC amanyukuo no ekafa economy no hodie na say abofo no sem ensema na chese wutie kura na uyem kura so because the way are no more describe economy no na no odiye pa na fast forward 2025 yet His Excellency John Dramani Mahama sisu Kesel atoforcing aba be read 2025 budget our parliament ama budget ni mu nyoma bebre His Excellency John Dramani Mahama asase approve na no kra no okosan krata wo chese yi levy sport betting tax any emission tax no ni nyina wa yi afiriwa chese Ghana for na yebo eseni ade na US officials ni chiremu a propaganda nsem ene ntrosem a NDC amanyuku no omode ye campaign 2024 no se say de omo ba be expose sa enioma ni nyina omo chirema in the budget no anasa time to force in ready budget no chere say Ghana de ka bebre eye NPP aban no abo ka bebre e de agu a eye ono ato forcing ene John Dramani Mahama bayi eno ma sha ase a e ka hodo a NPP amanyuko no bogu ho no o ma sha ase a omo tuatua ne ngakra na ze say de eye IMF any US officials na ba abonti ama be confirm say eka Kesel atoforcing any His Excellency John Dramani Mahama chiremu a omutuatia no ni nyina ntoresem enti oma petition IMF anaso maka kire IMF say sika omode magana no ewose omugyan ni nyina because oma magana sika ban we ba yi oma magana sika sa nanso omuhu de Ghana edi sika ne ye ensem ne de aye bebre ebusua yemorem na yenkotie ensema ekoso ewo IMF any US officials no no nebom ansa ne ebekọ no ebeso so bebo mode anu subscribe na afi so wache wadwen ewo comment section no na bibia aye kama yenkomra.
First of all, I think these discussions probably should take place behind closed doors. It's a little worrying when the US ambassador goes to the people and bring these issues up and sort of try to put pressure on the government. We have to understand that there's a new government that has come in, facing a lot of challenges. And, I think the government debt situation is something that is well known. Ghana's debt problems are well known. I think perhaps it would be important for government to clearly come up with a plan on how these debts are going to be resettled. But these are not things that these are not discussions you have in the public. So I wish that it was taking place, the discussions were taking place behind closed doors. I think if the US ambassador is concerned about its impact on investors, I think it's actually her approach that will actually retain investors more because she's the one who is bringing this up too much into the public domain and making it a topic of discussion. Having these discussions with the media will not necessarily be the one that will bring the solution of the payment.
Right.
I think raising this with the government and then getting the government to come up with a clear plan for paying these debts will probably be
right. With respect to the conversations in the media, we know that in January of this year, it was reported quite widely, this letter which was written by the U.S. Senator asking that the third tranche, which was expected to be disbursed to the country, be used to settle these debts. And so already that's been out in the open. The concern that could come from there is that if that was widely reported and 2 months on, it does appear there's still that sentiment being shared from the U.S. government where the ambassador expresses a bit of concern on that side. We should be expecting a bit more action from our government, considering U.S. support is quite important in all of our IMF dealings.
Well, you have to understand that the IMF program, government has signed on a specific program, and the funds are designed for specific purposes. Paying debt owed to American companies is not one of them. That's not to say the government of Ghana should not be paying it. The government of Ghana should be paying it, and the government of Ghana should be more responsible than allowing debt to move to the extent that we have these public discussions. I'm just saying that that first approach of trying to say the fund disbursement from the IMF should be used to pay American companies, I don't think that's not really a right understanding of what the program is about. That said, I have no idea what, the first time this came up, don't forget that the government is not even 3 months and the government is still being formed. There are still some positions that have not been shown yet. And I think having raised it the first time, perhaps, the government should have been given a little bit more time to settle in. And then perhaps the U.S. ambassador could have raised it with the finance minister or the president or the vice or anybody, so that they begin to see specific plans for how these debts are going to be paid. For me, that would be a more effective way without bringing all the attention that comes with it. That's
right.
what is likely to be there for it.
But even away from the conversations of the IMF, there's that concern about foreign direct investment coming through for us as a country, where we are, the situation we are in, where we continue to appeal for a lot more business interests to settle in. The arguments being made is that when we continue to owe these companies, not just U.S. companies, but companies from elsewhere money, then we're not doing ourselves good in terms of the imagery that businesses will come here.
Viewers, I'm totally shocked by this development. This is the campaign that we just ran in Ghana, where the National Democratic Congress was campaigning about corruption and anti-corruption. As it is with every election, corruption is always on the center. What is shocking me is some of these individuals. Look at this, what appears to be almost quote-unquote robbery of the taxpayer. Members of Parliament, now the NDC, have taken this to Parliament because for a reason. Did I say because for a reason? Yes, they've taken this to Parliament because of a reason. What is the reason? The reason, as we have been told, is that there's concern from the 188 members of Parliament of the NDC who did not secure ministerial positions. They are not likely to secure board positions. They are not securing deputy ministerial positions, and therefore they don't have any executive authority where they have the power of the pen to sign signature and also the budget to run with. And so they feel that there will be pressure on them from their constituents, given that everyone knows that they are members of the ruling party, and they may lose their primaries. So, as it has been said to us, it appears that there's a plan from the Ministry of Finance to make sure that, and viewers, listen to this. This is what we have been told. We hope that is not true, but it looks like many people believe it. We just hope that it's not. It's just too bad to be true, but we just hope that it's not true. But everyone who tells us believes it. Now, the story is that the NDC at the Ministry of Finance level is telling the MPs that when we bring things to finance Parliament, please vote for it. Because there's a consternations going on from the backbenchers that will teach the NDC a lesson. They won't give us anything. We'll teach them a lesson. When they bring a bill, we'll fail. We'll make sure the bill fails. And they have the numbers to do so. So upon this, what looks like a pseudo threat, the Ministry of Finance and the NDC and the Ministry of Finance have decided that every quarter they will make sure that there's some paperwork, some process to give every member of Parliament, hear this viewers, 400,000 cedis of the taxpayers' money every quarter. This is what we just hope that is not true. Now, this is how they started. They said Akufo-Addo was a thief, that Akufo-Addo was corrupt, Akufo-Addo was this. For the 8 years that Akufo-Addo was president, did you ever hear him go to Parliament and say, pay parliamentarians 200,000 cedis to do a Get Fund project, and on top of that, pay them 150,000 cedis to supervise the project. Akufo-Addo was using Get Fund proceeds to educate people, including Justice Sremsai, the Deputy Attorney General. Let me say it again. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former president of Ghana, was using the Get Fund resources to educate Ghanaians from all walks of life. Whether you are blue, you are red, you are Akan, you are Gan, you are Mosi, you are Dagomba, you are Mamprusi, you are Kusasi, you are Sisala. Akufo-Addo was using Get Fund money to educate Ghanaians abroad, including Justice Sremsai, who is today the Deputy Attorney General. That's what Akufo-Addo was doing with Get Fund money. Guess what the NDC, who don't like corruption, who said Akufo-Addo is a thief, is doing with Get Fund money? They are paying 250,000 cedis to MPs, members of parliament, 250,000 cedis, that they should take the money and do a project, daycare center, library. Then they are giving them 150,000 cedis to supervise the project. Altogether, guess what? They are giving them 400,000 cedis in total. And so it fits into the rumor that we have heard that they are planning. This is the righteous NDC, the clean NDC, anti-corrupt NDC. Kesalatu Forsen is going to collect some of this money. Look at Okujeto Ablakwa here. Ablakwa, you were shouting on everybody that they are corrupt. You mounted a platform against Brian Achampon that he's corrupt. The committee listened to you and they canceled the thing. Congratulations. You mounted something against now you are going to take 400,000 cedis into your pocket for all the money you have at foreign ministry. Honorable Ablakwa, but why? All the money you get at foreign ministry, you are going to fleece the taxpayer of 400,000 cedis again? That you are going to use it. The projects you do at your constituency, are they not more expensive than this? Can't you stand up for once? Can't you stand up for what you believe in, Ablakwa? In thy light we shall see light. Can't you stand up for what you believe in? The so-called anti-corruption that you say you believe in. Can't you rise up in parliament and say, Mr. Speaker, I will not take this money? Can't you do that? You cannot do that. You are fleecing the taxpayer of 400,000 into your pocket. Oh boy, oh NDC. NDC. Is that the change we want? Is that the change we voted for? Is that the Ghana we want? That the so-called corrupt Akufo-Addo took the Get Fund money and gave it to Ghanaians to go and study abroad, including Sremsai, who admitted at his vetting that the Get Fund funded him. You think the time the Get Fund was funding him and he was a lecturer, they didn't know that he was NDC. They knew that he was NDC. But Akufo-Addo said it doesn't matter. Whether it's NDC or it's MPP, doesn't matter. Take him abroad. After Sremsai went abroad, he came to teach at the Faculty of Law. He has imparted many students. He's a fantastic lecturer. His PhD was aided by Get Fund because he's a Ghanaian. This is Akufo-Addo. They said he was corrupt. Ablakwa, now the Get Fund money, they are not giving it to Ghanaians anymore. They are taking it to parliament and sharing it for their people. So Okujeto Ablakwa should bow down his head in shame. After standing on the high horse of anti-corruption, you come to parliament and first 3 months you are collecting for. Listen to the ridiculousness of it. Give them 200,000 to go and do a project. You, the MP, you take 200,000, you go to your constituency and start building a project in your name or whatever it was. In your constituency name, your father's name, mother's name, the party's name, party chairman's name, constituency. You can do it however you want. Now, when we are giving you taxpayers' money to go and do the project, say a library, we are also giving you money to supervise it. What is the meaning of supervising it? What does it mean? Supervising it means what? You are building a house for yourself and your constituents. We have given you the money. It's not your money, our money. We must also pay you to supervise it. This is what NDC have brought to Ghana. 8 years of Akufo-Addo, we never heard this. Never did we hear this in 8 solid years of Akufo-Addo. The most demonized president in Ghana because of Ablakwa's press conferences. Ablakwa, he's taking 400,000 of taxpayers' money to pocket it. And they are going to do that every quarter, from what we hear. I sincerely hope that is not true. A+ is the one who surprises me the most. A+, he shocks me the most. A+ was sitting on UTV every Saturday. I was watching. I don't miss that UTV program. Hey, I don't miss it. I can imagine A+ sitting down at the UTV program and this story has broken. And he said, "Nana train, na in kwasi assembly and meeting of parliament no cry minti bi da nana train." What asema eba? Yes, MP bi anje 200,000 on fan the constituency. Orienso ayensa man no 150,000 No Franco Nanama. As what's my name? By the guy's name, Kojo Sheldon says, it bust my mind. A plus, a dang, and Amuya Ghana Fosikasa. Ghana Fosika now, what can wasem no. What was not parliament, and I would do 400,000. What be that? I mean, what is this? What is this? And frankly, Kujo is quiet.